Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN here, joined with this very special Rewind Theater for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm joined not by a fellow IGN editor who's a super fan, but actually I'm joined by a very authoritative voice on this matter. No, not Kevin Spacey, though. Quite frankly, Michael Condrey. He would have been a little more interesting.
I am a super fan, though.
Right.
He would have been pretty interesting, it's true, in every single way.
So Michael Condrey, you are the studio head, the co-studio head.
That's right.
Which just doesn't look quite as good on the business card. You got to share the title with Glenn.
That's true.
Glenn Schofield.
There's a lot of sharing there.
You are, of course, you founded Sledgehammer Games with Glenn 5 years back. You contributed heavily to Modern Warfare 3, and here you are really entering Call of Duty into the next generation of consoles with Advanced Warfare built from the ground up for these new machines. We've been really optimistic from what we've been seeing so far. We're covering the game exclusively all month long here on IGN as part of IGN First. So you're dropping a new trailer for us, and we thought we'd bring you in specifically to help us break it down, because there is a lot to digest in this.
There's a lot in this one, a lot we're proud of, and I want to thank you and IGN and everything you guys are doing to cover it, because there's so much. 5 years, a lot.
Well, I've told you that, I mean, I personally have been off the Call of Duty bandwagon for a while. You know, I don't want to dwell on the negative, but everything I've seen about the new Call of Duty, yeah, everything about this new one, you're giving me reason to get sucked back in.
Good.
And that starts with a campaign that actually looks like it's innovating. It's doing some new things, and it's taking some new creative risks, and it's going in some fun new creative directions. Let's start with, I mean, obviously the exo themselves, the exo suits themselves, these exoskeletons that enable you to do all sorts of interesting new gameplay things. Well, let's take a look at these guys. I mean, what are when you're sitting down to do a game, a Call of Duty game, and you got to think, all right, I got to change it up here.
Yeah.
Where does the exo come from?
Well, you know, thank you for the compliments on the campaign. There's a lot we're focused on around the narrative, and bringing guys like yourselves back and saying, hey, look, come here for a world-class narrative with Kevin Spacey and the EXO, like you said, as the heart and soul. And it really was a creative idea that was a catalyst almost 3 years ago to bring new ways to play, a compelling and provocative story, you know, something that was ripped from the headlines in terms of both the PMCs and the sort of growth of technology in the military. Right. So a lot to talk about, and really this shows it right from the beginning. This is the opening of the game. It introduces the Marines who are going into South Korea. North Koreans have finally made that move, and we're being called in to defend. And right off the bat, you get to see them loading into their exos.
And talk about this man for a second, Kevin Spacey. You and I talked already in an interview that's already run this month as part of IGN First that he was very high on the list. You're a big Breaking Bad fan. You thought about Bryan Cranston, but tell me real quick the highlight of working this with Spacey and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I got to tell you, you know, for us having the chance to work with a world-class actor, an actor's actor, we describe him, and I think it's accurate, as one of the, you know, the greatest living actors today. You know, he brings
being sneered at by this guy over on the right-hand side of the frame there.
There's some leering going on. This is a great moment from the campaign as well, where really you get to understand that Jonathan Irons, played by Kevin Spacey, is really laying down sort of the new world order, really, where, you know, PMCs, they don't play by the same rules. And as you can see here, that allows him and his organization Atlas to do some things that, you know, nation-state militaries can't. And so, man, talk about a performance. And you saw that right there. That was ripped straight from our performance capture. This, you're looking at an amazing shot of him coming to you in the game.
And that gives, I mean, your next-gen engine, I mean, again, I'm going to speak as a lapsed Call of Duty fan. The engine...
But current Call of Duty fan.
Current, yes. So badly did the engine need a rewrite and need a kick in the pants, and those character models, those faces, tell me that mission accomplished. You guys have got some sweet new tech under the hood here.
There is, yeah. You know, 3 years, a new generation of hardware, and a focus, like you said, to really bring new tech and new techniques. And so, yeah, we've really pushed heavily in lots of areas, including the character rendering system and animation system, to pull off. You know, I think we mentioned to you before. I mean, we're using Cameron's avatar, facial, and performance capture system straight out of Hollywood, matched with guys like Kevin Spacey to bring, you know, film quality experiences now.
And this stopped me cold
right there.
Right here. So this is something never talked about, never shown. Get over here.
what is going on?
Talk me through what the hell that was.
Yeah, great moment. That first look, absolutely. So that is the AST, or the Armored Support Transport, and it's or we call it the the in-game mech, which is sort of an evolution of the Juggernaut. You've seen it. You'll play it as a score streak in multiplayer, and you'll play against it throughout the campaign. And this is sort of your counter. This is your grapple, which you use to get around the world. But also, as you can see here,
would AST actually how about asshole subduing technology?
Well, it could be, because clearly you're doing some subduing here. And just what a great moment to talk about the power of the Exo and what it can do. And yeah, you don't want to be on the receiving end of this, because this is a little nasty.
So this will happen in all facets of the game: campaign, the Exo co-op, which we'll talk about in a minute, and multiplayer as well.
Well, so the Exo, of course, transcends all the game modes. We call it the Goliath, as the AST.
The big suit there.
Right, the big suit. Also, the grapple right now is primarily featured in campaign, and we have some more ideas to bring that to the rest of the game.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and so you don't always use it to get around the world. You can use it as a counter there and in other places in the campaign. So a lot to come there. Right
here we're looking at, from our hands-on time down at your studio with multiplayer, this is your virtual lobby, where you can basically it's character model porn, where you can really show off everything you've worked hard to unlock. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, this is another big thing that we've brought in terms of innovating the MP experience. We're pretty proud of this. This is truly now an avatar-based sort of lobby system. This is where all of your loot, your supply drop rewards come together, and you can see it here. I mean, if you rewind just a bit there, you can take a look at everybody in the lobby that you're going to be going up against, all the really incredible gear and weapons they've unlocked, and of course, the end shot, this is the Headhunter mask. This is sort of a challenge-based piece of loot based off of headshots in a match. And man, when you're rocking that, right? I mean, talk about, I like character porn. I don't think I've ever used that term before, but I might have to now. And now we're jumping into MP. A lot going on here, right? Here's the AST again, the Goliath score streak. I mean, talk about a badass. This is the future Juggernaut.
Nice.
Everything it can do.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
About to die here.
This is a great shot here too. You remember score streaks we talked about being customizable. So the Goliath itself is a 775 point score streak, customizable in this mode. So you've added the ping, right, an additional module, as well as the homing rocket. So man, this is now like almost 1,000 point score streak. But you are a badass.
So what is the ping? That's the red. Does that makes guys show up whether they're hiding behind cover or something?
That's right. It's threat detection, right? So you send out a signal. You can see the blue line waves being sent out, and then it comes back to your augmented reality as highlights of your enemies.
And then why would I want to self-destruct if I'm ever in this thing?
Well, there's a lot going on here, and there's a moment at the end when you're going down where you can sort of take out people around you in sort of the last hero's moment, if you will. This is a great shot too with another oh,
that's a map I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that's right. This is a new map called Green Band. It's sort of a rooftop garden in Seoul, South Korea, and a new optic that you haven't seen before. This is the autofocus. So it's pretty cool. Standard optic, sort of red dot optic, until you get on an enemy, and then it focuses into a zoom.
Okay.
So pretty cool there. Like this a lot. The power of the Exo with the Exo Slam, another sort of pro move of being able to do a vertical melee.
Yet another new map here.
That's right. Yeah, we're showing off a lot in this one. And this one, Spike Drone. Oh, look at that.
Right into his head.
Using the new launcher. Right into his head, right? This is such a fun. Love that. A little bit of violence in today's Rewind Theater. And the great thing about that one, take him down. Or you can plant that and do sort of an ambush move where you call it back to you. You can get a kill with it there. So another new map coming up here, Horizon.
Yep.
With the Exo slide kill, looking great. So man, there's a lot to show you guys in this video.
How many maps are in this game? A lot.
Yeah, we're taking you around the world. It's a around the world journey MP campaign co-op. So pretty fun. Love that shot right there. Another good look at the power of the Exo, and there's the Semtech doing a nice shot, mid-air explosion.
I like that can you manually trigger that, or was that just on a standard delay there?
Yeah, you can cook off lethals through the launcher.
Because they waited till friends were around there.
Here's another good look at a map-based score streak. So now you're in Detroit, a map I don't think we've showed before yet.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, and map-based score streaks are modules you can build in. In this particular case, you get to take the Gatling gun on the Skytram there and knock people out. So
now we get to the fun part. So I had a chance to play this. You obviously have played this many times, given that you made the game. Exo Survival, people have been asking us all month long during IGN First, what's the co-op mode, what's going on? So it's this. Give me the quick, the Cliff's Notes version, and we'll dive in.
Yeah, well, we're really excited, and I'm glad you got to play it, because now you can help talk about it from an outside perspective. But for us, it was all about 4-player, wave-based survival, utilizing all the power of the Exo.
I'm not fighting aliens. I'm not fighting zombies.
No, it's not aliens, not zombies, and we strategically wanted to bring you into the full force of the Exo Advanced Soldier. I mean, think about, if you will, really, you know, 4 fully decked out, almost Iron Man-like experiences here. I mean, you are geared up, and you are outnumbered and outgunned, and it's bringing a lot. It's a ton of fun.
When this was first described to me at your studio, I thought, oh, okay, it's whatever. It's Halo's Firefight or Gears of War's Horde Mode. But it turns out I genuinely love the heck out of this, because it does some smart design things in that, number one, it never ends. There aren't 50 rounds, there aren't 100 rounds, there are infinite rounds. You told me that your test team has gotten into about the mid-60s. That's the best anyone's ever done.
Yeah, it gets pretty tough. You're right. You can run maps to infinite rounds to chase leaderboards, right, which is always cool. And we saw that before. There's also sort of a progressive circuit that works your way through all of the maps to kind of give you a sense of completion. And so you can kind of tackle it both ways. And man, it's a ton of fun. There is a lot going on in this one. As you can see, you know, everything from, you know, the ability to pick your class.
Yeah, that was
upgrade.
The next thing I wanted to get to, because it's but you earn upgrade points for succeeding each round, and you can spend those. There's there's around each map there's an armory, which is tagged there with the gun icon on the HUD. It'll be like a loot crate thing, and then sometimes nearby, sometimes a little further away, depending on the map, is the actual Exo upgrade station. And so you can spend your points however you choose, and obviously you might need to bank points.
That's right.
But for a number of rounds to afford something really good. But you can upgrade your weapons. You can, I mean, I actually, granted I only got to play for about half an hour, but I decided, all right, I just want to make my general armor better, my general firepower better. So I took kind of some passive skills. But what are some of the other things you can do to upgrade yourself to really sort of customize your experience in this as the waves go on and on?
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to unleash the full power of the Exo here, right? So it starts with classes. There's 3 different classes that you can start with from the beginning. And you can upgrade your armor, your weapon type, your Exo abilities, score streaks, all of the things that you can bring to bear, like example here, care package, right? To really hold off a massive offense from, you know, cloaked enemies, drones, you know, ASTs. You're going to have AST waves coming at you.
Yep.
As you can see here, it's a great shot. You're going to bring all that customization, all of the character gear that you've earned through multiplayer to bring to bear. Man, this has just got so much in it. And, you know, it's really going to challenge you and your four teammates, or 3 teammates.
And what is this red dome? What is going on over here in this scene?
There's a lot in this scene, as you can see here. So they're gonna come at you with everything as well, right? We're really going to challenge your skill level. So they're going to throw areas of EMPs at you. There's a lot that they're going to do here to try and slow you down. And, oh, by the way, one thing we haven't hit on, we've also introduced this concept of objective-based rounds.
I was just going to get to that, yeah, because that's another thing I think that makes this a really smart game mode and not just, you know, repetitive wave after wave. Is you'll throw different things at us, and if you get rewards if you succeed. But what I actually thought was cool was you'll be penalized if you fail.
That's right, absolutely. There'll be rounds like. It's sort of like Kill Confirm, where you have to capture the dog tags, right? There'll be intel you have to gather. There'll be hold the hard points. And if you don't do those things, the enemies will then attack you.
We can actually see it here in the upper right corner. We have a dynamic objective here. I'm guessing maybe it's to bring down 10 of the drones, which, by the way, are a huge pain in the butt. I can tell you from personal experience. Down in the lower left, somewhat obscured by our time code there, you can see upgrade 0. We've spent our points, but that's where that's kept track of.
Absolutely.
So, and then I don't know if how far, if we can find it. It was only in it for like a frame or two. Right there, there was a. The dogs have returned to chomp on us.
Yep, that's right. This time they come back in the form of Doberman, as you can see here, as another wave.
What do you got against Dobermans, Michael Condrey?
Well, I think they bring an interesting additional wave. Like the drones in the air are pretty powerful, right? And you're going to see that. Ground-based troops, ASTs, cloaked guys, Doberman. They're coming at you, and they're coming at you hard. Here's a great shot here. I like this one. Little secret peek at a loot. Sledgehammer 5-year custom EXO. So there's been a lot of questions about what are we planning on doing with Team EXOs across the game. And man, unlimited possibility to earn stuff in multiplayer. Bring it with your squad here. Look like a total badass.
And then, so let's see. Does this scale based on, because can you or can you not? You can actually technically do this by yourself, right? You don't have to have all 4 people in there.
That's right, absolutely. There's you know, you can go at it just by yourself, and that proves particularly challenging and a lot of fun. You can go at it with teams online or split screen drop in, sort of couch mode, if you will.
Nice.
Lots of ways to play, and you know, it like you said, like there's a lot going on here, and really it comes to life in people's hands. So you've got your hands on it, right? I mean.
Yeah, I really had a good time with it. Alfredo is the most talented first-person shooter we have here at IGN, and he and I made it to the 16th wave before dying.
Nice. Exactly.
Now, you could argue that maybe I was holding us back.
A little Alfredo
maybe I
handicap.
was the problem. But, well, actually, you know, he had to one other key thing to mention, actually, there is a down but not out system. It's not, once you're down, that's not it. Your buddy can come over and save you, which thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you know, Alfredo had to come bail me out a couple times, but I had to bail him out a couple times as well.
Nicely done.
What I liked about this is we started to see the AI just really crank, and we saw the PMCs just strafing and flying all over the place with their exosuits. And what it actually led me to question, which I'll go ahead and ask you now on microphone, are we going to see some of that cranked up AI coming at us in the single player campaign? Because I'm a single player guy, I want that kind of challenge in the campaign.
Yeah, you really are going to see a lot. I mean, the behaviors that you're talking about, obviously, as your EXO gives you new abilities to boost and boost dodge, we bring that to bear in campaign and co-op as well. Obviously, you can do it in multiplayer. So all these amazing new movement sets are going to prove to be more challenging as well when you're facing them in the enemy. And you're seeing that here, right? Like, it's a very different experience when you're going up against an enemy with the EXO who is cloaked and has the ability to dodge. You get in some pretty crazy firefights.
And
look at that shot right there too, just to end on. Just the power of 4 players, you know, for survival to have 4 players coming together cooperatively, it's pretty awesome.
And we've got you told me a longer than usual single player campaign.
Yeah, we're excited about the experience of the campaign.
Here.
Yeah, get over here. So the campaign is longer than your average Call of Duty campaign. Co-op is deep and rich. Multiplayer, oh man, and we're going to end here because this is...
Yeah, and the co-op, by the way, it takes place on the existing multiplayer maps.
It does, yeah. It's a chance to work your way through the maps, which we like.
Oh,
right? And
your spine's not supposed to do that.
No, it's never a good way to end your day on one of these. This is another example of the grapple kill from campaign and just what you can use with the power of the EXO. And yeah, you don't do this very often, do you? Because it just makes for a rough morning.
So for me, if you're an existing Call of Duty super fan, a ton to love here. If you're like me, if you've been out of the
fan,
out of the loop for a little bit, a lot to be optimistic about. Michael Condrey, thanks so much for literally breaking is a perfect word for breaking this very action-packed trailer down with us. And for more on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, we've got stuff coming all month long right here on IGN First. Mr. Condrey, thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.